Yeah, I'm not beating the allegations that I just steal everything that we talk about from Reddit, but this is a conversation that I think Montreal Canadiens fans will love to hear about. Because there's a very particular Carolina Hurricanes prospect who is living, breathing, and thriving in that system to no NHL success. Ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to turn your attention over to this man right here out of the Chicago Wolves in the AHL. Ryan Suzuki. A guy whose contract expires at the end of this season, making $775,000 a year. And the question is simple. Could Ryan Suzuki join his brother Nick on the Montreal Canadiens? Let's go out there and read this Reddit thread, and then dive into the prospect profile of Ryan himself. Philion M3 posted this on our Habs. Ryan Suzuki is a UFA at the end of the season. He has good numbers in the AHL, but he is probably more of an AHLer. Should the Canadiens offer him a contract? Let's go out there and read some of the replies. Smart thinking. Gets Nick a babysitter close by for next season. Joshua Waugh for Ryan Suzuki. There, I play GM. If he signs, it's with Laval, as more or less a favor to Nick. Kind of like how Carolina gave Jared Stahl a contract way back, because they also had Mark, Eric, and Jordan. Or did they have Mark at that time? I'm not too sure. Was he ever a Hurricane? I'm not too sure. Or Rod Brindamore's son Skylar playing a couple of games last year. Skylar Brindamore is having great seasons in the AHL and could very well still see ice in the NHL as a fourth liner. Let's take a look at Ryan Suzuki and dive into the profile here. So he's 24 years old, 6'1", 196, left-handed center left wing. So where Nick is a righty, Ryan is a lefty. And I think it was always a notable part of their development that Ryan was always a bit bigger than Nick. Nick is 5'11", Ryan is 6'1", and Ryan was taken 28th overall by the Carolina Hurricanes back in 2019. In that season, he had 75 points in 65 Barrie Colts games. And what's interesting is, when we go out there and look for Ryan Suzuki highlights, we actually might be able to find the scouting report video that we made on this YouTube channel back in 2019. There we go. What if the Canadiens drafted Ryan Suzuki? This video got 10,000 views and a lot of Canadiens fans that were super excited at the idea of drafting another Suzuki. But let's go back forward, shall we? Ryan Suzuki was a very good OHL producer who took some time to become a stable AHL guy. Last year, he finally broke out, scoring 59 points in 69 AHL games with the Chicago Wolves. This season, he's got 43 points in 51 games, on pace for another 59-point year. He played 2 games with the Carolina Hurricanes last season, got 0 points, and was a +1. But as we had noted, Ryan Suzuki, his contract does expire at the end of the season. And at 24 years old, you can definitely debate whether or not this guy has a good chance at being an NHL player if he were to stay with the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes have a pretty good team, and so it's tough for any forward, much less a younger forward who's at 24 years old and at the tail end of his AHL prime years, to break out and actually get a spot at the National Hockey League level. Let's see what Ryan Suzuki's scouting reports had to say, the kind of profile he was back in the day, which made him a first-round prospect to begin with. Suzuki is a good skater, excellent passer, and is very good at putting himself in scoring positions, where he rarely fails to capitalize. He does not play overly physical, but is very good at avoiding contact while doing so. He has excellent hands and all-around vision. On the downside, his effort level has been questioned. Courtesy of Tyler Parcham from Elite Prospects 2019. So, maybe not a physical guy, maybe not a guy with the best work ethic, but a guy who is very good at avoiding contact with excellent hands, vision, and scoring. Let's go out there and read some of the other scouting reports. HockeyProspect.com said that Ryan Suzuki, there are very few players who are as deceptive as him when he is weighing his options with the puck. Future Consideration said he is a smooth skater with good balance on his edges and good foot speed to accelerate quickly in tight spaces. McQueen's Hockey said that Ryan Suzuki sees the ice at a very advanced level and can execute any number of tricky passes against the grain, creating high-danger scoring chances. This, of course, is all based off of what he was doing in the OHL, which was very good. The sample was awesome there. But now, the question as to whether or not he could take it to the next level, that's going to be the debate, and ultimately the question as to where he ends up doing that, if he's able to do it in Montreal or if he goes to another organization, another team. Let's head back over onto the Reddit post here and read some of the other comments. I don't know the details, but AHL teams have a limit of veterans they can have, and Ryan Suzuki would be considered a veteran with his 250-plus AHL games played. It's not just giving him an AHL contract. Hey, Alex Belziel's a UFA. Who knows if he'll be back? I'll say this, if the Canadiens have an extra AHL veteran spot to use, why not use it on Ryan Suzuki? 24 years old is smack dab in the middle of useful AHL player territory while still being young enough to maybe get a shot or two at the NHL level. If Josh Waugh can get some playing time with the Canadiens, I'd say Ryan Suzuki probably has a chance to do that too, right? Carolina is just too stacked, so it's hard for anybody to break onto that organization. Absolutely, he's a good AHL player, and I'd imagine he would rather sign and play in Laval and be near family than play for some random team. Here's an interesting comment from Mago is Gago. Carolina is a really strong team, so Suzuki cannot make the lineup. But he's a center, 4th in scoring on his team, and 3rd in plus-minus with a plus 18. Could he be the center of a 4th line of a weaker team like Vancouver or Calgary? He also had a really serious eye injury, worse than everything that Caden Gooley and Kirby Dach got put together. Suzuki suffered a severe eye injury on November 1st, 2019, during an OHL game while playing for the Colts against the Spirit. It occurred when defenseman Ilya Solovyov's stick struck Suzuki in the face, causing a torn retina and leaving him with permanent blind spots in the center of his right eye. Frankly, it's amazing that he is still doing well competitively as a pro with such impaired vision. Imagine if science could give him 100% vision again. All his improvements in terms of awareness would instantly make him NHL capable. Another reply says he was on waivers near the beginning of the season, and we didn't put a claim. I don't think there's any interest from management. So that, I think, also needs to be established as well. Maybe there just isn't really an appetite from Canadiens management on Ryan Suzuki and what he could bring for the team. Is there a chance that he is targeted as a UFA if he makes it to free agency? I don't know. But I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Is this an idea that you can get behind? Is Ryan Suzuki and his overall offensive package a reason to believe the Montreal Canadiens should sign this guy to a deal? Add to the fact that he is the brother of the captain, and all of a sudden you have some brand new doors being opened that I don't think we have seen in years in this city. So with that said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.